Today on Fresh Vintage Garage, we're checking out the VDiag tool VD80BT Lite. It's a mouthful, but it's a very action-packed scan tool. Got a lot of cool features, everything from 28 service reset functions, CAN, FCA, AutoAuth, the list goes on. We're going to jump outside into our 2016 Subaru Forester and plug in and show you all the software. Let's dig in together right now. So we're in our 2016 Subaru Forester, and real quick, we have the Bluetooth dongle plugged in and connected already. You can see on the top right corner of the screen, the VCI is connected. So let's dive right into the software. Okay, taking a look at this, we're going to go to North America. Service is not supported, so we'll click OK, and it looks like it doesn't matter, so let's click Automatic Scan. While this is running, it has a bunch of different features. Can support bidirectional control, 28 service reset functions. It is an 8-inch touchscreen. I believe it has 4 gigs of memory, and I can't remember the exact size of the battery. We'll throw that up on the screen, but I do remember the box saying something like 36 watt-hours, which I've never actually seen that before on a scan tool as far as that reference. Most of them are milliamp hours. But we'll let it finish up here. I will say this is going fairly quick. I have a 2005 CRV, and it normally takes a lot longer, but that's the computers in the car slowing it down, not the actual scan tool. There's no topology on this, just wanted to shout that out, but in each individual subsystem, if we wanted to click on Diagnostic on the right-hand side of the screen, I just clicked on Telematics. Probably not the best thing to click on, but we'll just read data trouble codes here and see what comes up. And a little bit of data here as far as what's going on in that specific module. And let's go back out to, let's find two things. Let's find the engine. There's the engine. Let's do diagnostic. And let's see what kind of live data we can get out of here. It's always cool to see the differences, not just between the scan tools, but the cars, because each car may give you a little bit different amounts of live data. Let's see what this comes up with. Okay, so wow, 181 on the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. And I'm just going to choose a few of these at random. I'm not going to do like turn signal or anything. That's actually all filtered down into the body control module. But let me turn the car on here. So you can see the live data coming out of the computer and whatnot here. I'm going to click Custom on the bottom of the screen, and that filters down to what I chose. And now if we want to do some kind of graphing, we can do a list just like we have. We can do column, and that gives you kind of what you see on the screen. Let me get a little gas here. There's that. And then we go into graph, and then 2D graph. This is everything broken out. But let me show you 2D graph. This should be a combined graph of everything. Pretty cool to see as the engine idles down. So there's that. Engine idle down quite a bit. Pretty neat to see. On the left-hand side of the screen, we have view axes and also legend. So if you want that, you can just add that on. If you're chasing that weird electrical gremlin in the car, or maybe there's like a sensor 100% not working right or whatever. But let me turn the car off and forgive the beeping. We'll just go back on the ignition there. Now, while we're in here, actuation tests gives you a breakdown of what you can do, what you can't do as far as turning the radiator fan on or actually getting the fuel pump to click and turn on. So a lot of cool features. You can see this is actually directly related to the engine and engine management system. If we were to come back out, let's go back out to the, let's keep going back here, body control. Let's go into that and take a look. And you can see, just like we talked about, you can go read data trouble codes in here. And you can see those there. If you wanted to do a report, you click DTC report on the bottom, and you could click preview, although, okay, so it did do it, even though I didn't put the data in. So if you're a shop owner watching this video, maybe you want to give this to a customer, say, hey, here's a report, here's what we think we might need to repair your car kind of thing. We're just going to click cancel here. And let's go back out to the live data. I just want to show you in here, this is all filtered to body control stuff. Like you won't see engine RPM and coolant temperature and stuff in here. It's all about the actual body and the actual headlights and turn signals and stuff like that. You can see here with the wipers on and whatnot. So very much focused and filtered down to body control stuff. Wanted to quickly shout out back at the home screen here, if we click on auto scan, there's a way to do a system manualized selection. So if you want to dig into one individual system and just go straight down the rabbit hole to it, we're going to go back in the system selection. We're not going to choose automatic scan, we're going to choose system selection. And this allows you to get into each individual system as you see fit. There's also something here we didn't shout out before, the pre and post scan. So if you do a car repair, if you're a shop and you're doing a repair, maybe you're a DIYer and you're thinking about using this, it'll give you kind of a pre and post repair snapshot of the car, just to give you an idea of, you know, if you fix something, if it actually got the fix, it actually did the trick kind of thing. But we won't finish this. We'll just back out of here. And there we go. Let me hit back. There we go. And I don't want to save that. Let's get back to the home screen. So manual diagnosis is pretty much just like it sounds. It's just an individual choosing of what you're looking for. And just clicking on My Vehicles on the top part of the screen, if we wanted to add a vehicle here, we can just go in and grab the one we want and then add it to that screen. And let's look at Australia. So we have Australia on the screen. Ford Australia, Holden. There's also OBD2, so that's a direct express access, and I think you'll see that in all of these. So I just clicked on China, and there's Chinese brands. Asian brands, this is where you'll find Subaru and Suzuki and Toyota, a bunch of recognizable ones. Now America is very, very similar to what you would see in North America. Interestingly enough, I clicked on the European one, we were looking at it earlier, and I doubt there's many Polestar car drivers that will ever see this video, but Polestar is for some reason listed in Europe, but Polestar is here and they're completely electric vehicles, so kind of fascinating to see that, but we haven't seen Tesla or anyone else in here. If you do want to do a VIN scan, you can just click on the top left corner of the screen and do auto scan, and it's basically going to take you, it's almost a long way to get to that auto scan that we were just in a couple minutes ago. Stick around later in the video. We want to show you the service reset functions. And one other shout out here, OBD2, all of these screens you saw had OBD2. That's just your express checkout, you know, like grocery store checkout kind of thing, to get you into code reading. Your check engine light comes on. This is the fastest way to get to it. Read trouble codes. Full disclosure, the check engine light is not on in the Forester that we're in. That's why it says this. But if you wanted to, you could also read live data in here. And then you can do an emissions test as well if you're in a state, like California or whatnot, that has emissions. And I will note, when you were in the deeper diagnostics, on the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, you see it only says 0 of 44 here, and in the deeper diagnostics, we saw 0 of 181. So this is kind of general data that's coming out of the car. I would suggest if you have the scan tool, go into the diagnostics section, and you get a more deeper analysis of the live data. The emissions test, just like I mentioned, it's right here. And this is a very generic, I say generic, like if you've seen this once, you've seen it a million times. It just does all of the emissions stuff that they probably eyeball and actually check in an emissions applicable state and situation. Let's go back to the home screen. We're going to go all the way back here. And so I'm going to keep clicking back. There we go. So manual diagnosis is just where we were at. And then special functions is where the 28 service reset functions live. I will say there's a screen protector on this thing, and my fingers are kind of dry. So definitely shouting that out. If you have dry fingers or dry hands like I do, that may be an issue. You have to touch the screen a few times. But 28 service reset functions here, everything from oil reset to gearbox adaptation, AC relearn, Windows initialization, and the list goes on. I won't read them all here, but you can see on the screen the amount of different stuff. Those little red arrows are just software updates because we didn't update. We just updated Subaru so we could use it for the video here. We didn't update the rest of the stuff. Let's look at the rest of everything on the screen here. We have report. And if we had saved a report, I actually don't remember if we had a report. Yeah, we did not actually save any reports. Now, if you recorded live data, we didn't mention in the video earlier, but if you wanted to record live data, this is where you can see it as a CSV file. It actually exports it like an Excel file, like Microsoft Excel. I mention that because you can come in here and actually watch it, play back the data if you want to show a mechanic, or maybe you wanted to show a customer to just see, hey, here's that sensor, here's why we replaced it because it's given this wonky or goofy reading. Let's go back to the home screen here. Wrapping up a couple other things. Settings, nothing really much to see here. And remote control, if you wanted to allow VDiag tool to get into the back side of the scan tool through TeamViewer, you could do that. If there's something going on with the scan tool, maybe something's not functioning right, they could see what's going on there. Let me click the back button there. There we go. And report is just like it sounds. If we had a report, and let's see here, updates. This is where all the updates are. I will say VDiag does, I don't say it's odd, it's not bad, it's just, I normally want to come in here and see all the cars top to bottom, but it mixes special function, sunroof initialization with special function and diagnosis seats. That's not a car seat, that's a brand. So diagnosis Dacia and Abarth, that they're just mixed together. So we came in here, we actually found the search, and we were able to find Subaru, because it doesn't show it on here, but it's because we already updated it. So let me click back. And I think there's a module in here. Yeah, so there's an endoscope in here. We do not have an endoscope. Just shouting it out, there is an available endoscope. It's trying to install the app, but we don't have the standalone unit as a separate item, so we're not going to show you that today. Service Center, I think this takes us to, yeah, it's kind of product and support Service Center. It's not like a service center for, it's not like a virtual garage or anything. It just gives you data for VDiag tool if you want to reach out to them. And I'm just going to swipe left, swipe right. There's nothing really else there. This is running on Android 10, and I make that note because you can see we're actually running Android 10. We are screen recording this right now, and just to take a step back, the rest of this is basically an Android 10 tablet. It has 8-inch touchscreen, 4 gigs of memory, 64 gigs of storage, like I said. It does have the Chrome browser, Chromium, which Chrome is actually built on, but this should open to our YouTube channel. There we go. And there's our Fresh Vintage YouTube channel. So if you haven't heard of Fresh Vintage, check it out. That's our other channel where we do more car stuff. Fresh Vintage Garage being where we do actual scan tools and shop equipment. So a few quick things before we jump downstairs and actually show you the unboxing and what you get when you buy one of these guys. 2-year software right out of the box with this. 2-year software subscription, I should say. So the updates you see there we didn't do. You get those for 2 years once you buy the VD80BT Lite. Not sure on the warranty, and I say the warranty because we looked inside the manual that's actually on the scan tool and in the paperwork that comes in the box with this guy, and I literally can't find it anywhere. It's not on their website either. So if we can confirm that with VDiag tool, you'll see it thrown up on the screen here now. One other small detail, this does have FCA auto auth for all you newer Chrysler guys that you're looking for something. This will work for that. With that being said, let's jump downstairs and we're going to unbox this and show you what you get when you buy one. Alrighty, we're getting downstairs here from the software review, and let's go ahead and unbox this. And big shout out to VDiag tool for sending us over, sponsoring the video. Really appreciate it. There is a little bit of foam here, protective foam. I'll just set that up there. I'm gonna, obviously the scan tool's right there, and I'm gonna go to that one last. I have some paperwork that no one ever reads, and our charging cable. Don't eat any of this, that's not advised. And then very much a global tool, but it comes with power brick for North America, and then the other adapters here. I actually don't know what's in this. Oh, the Bluetooth dongle, there it is. There we go. And there's that. Let me just put that back in here, and we'll get to the star of the show. You've already seen it. And just some food for thought here as I pull this out. It's a tight fit. Like, I'm not trying to be dramatic here. I'm hoping I don't hurt my finger getting it out of there because it's that tight. But very well packaged, very well protected in here. I don't know that this would survive, like, you know, just getting thrown off a 10-story building or anything in this case, but it'll definitely survive a drop kind of thing. Here is the VD80BT Lite, and forgive me for spelling that out. I just wanted to spell that out because this is the VD80BT Lite. I'm not trying to be silly. Don't go out there on the internet looking for this thing and not search for the Lite, because they have a non-Lite version, and it is definitely more money than this guy. Overall, you know, feels solid, durable. We do have our channel, our other channel, Fresh Vintage, on here. Go check it out if you want to, you know, see some car action. We're going to SEMA. We've been to Barrett Jackson, Mecum Auctions. The list goes on. It's all here on Fresh Vintage if you want to go subscribe. And make sure you subscribe to Fresh Vintage Garage too. We appreciate it. All that to say, this is a pretty solid little scan tool. It's strikingly similar, dare I say it, to some X-Tool scan tools we've looked at. And I only make that note because if you haven't seen our Compass Master video, that link should pop up over my shoulder here kind of thing. Go watch that video and watch the software on that after you watch this, and you'll see what we mean. But all that to say, you know, feels solid. I'm just pulling back the pulling the software up here. Solid scan tool. We'll leave a link for this in the video description if you want to check it out. You decide you want to buy it. Wrapping up the video here. Overall, yeah, we like this thing, the 80BT Lite. You know, pretty solid. You know, chunky in a good way, not in a bad way. Oops, I just touched the screen here. But if you want to check this thing out, maybe pick one up. You can find it in the video description here. We'll leave a link for it, along with the Compass Master we were talking about. But you know, I would say it's worth looking at. Maybe picking one up if you're a DIYer, if you're a shop owner, you're looking for a second scan tool, or you're looking to pinch a few pennies and still get a decent scan tool. But all that to say, we appreciate you watching. If you like scan tools, if you like shop equipment, if you like keeping your car certified fresh and on the road, Fresh Vintage Garage is your channel. Please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.